Guys, so one of my most requested videos, or I guess the thing that I get the most questions about, is my birth with Penelope. And I think that is just because everybody knows that I'm all natural. Hi to you too. Yeah, am I talking about you? She's right here, so she's probably gonna put her 2 cents in every now and then, but we'll see. So I want to answer all the questions that I get from, like, literally probably twice a week, 3 times a week. I get questions about this from people I don't know, people I know having babies right now. Kind of give you guys the walkthrough of our birth, the story, what I used, everything like that, so that if you guys do want to try a natural birth, you'll be able to see how I did it. So backstory, we went in for our appointment on a Monday. The doctors did not know she was going to be this big, or at least they didn't tell us, and that's probably the thing that we get the most is, oh my gosh, did you know she was going to be big? So she ended up being 10 pounds 4 ounces. And so we went in Monday, and the doctor did a bone and joint ultrasound, which was just to make sure her hands were out of the way, nothing was in the way. And I was 38 weeks at that point. I was going to be 39 weeks that Thursday, which was when I had her. So all of that's good. We go to Tuesday, and I had a dentist appointment, and I thought my water had broke. So I called my doctor, and she was like, come in. So I had to leave my dentist appointment in the middle of it and go. When I got there, I was only dilated to 1. My water hadn't broke yet. And then fast forward to Wednesday morning, my water had still not broke, but my contractions were extremely strong, like to the point that I couldn't move. I'd had Braxton Hicks for probably like a month at this point, and if I got in the bath, they went away. So I tried getting in the bath, and they would not go away, and I was like, oh my gosh, like these are real. So I called Ozzy, and I was like, I'm having contractions, like these are legit. And the one thing that I wish that I could have changed was I wish I would have labored at home longer. I ended up having a 20-hour labor, and I pushed for 3 hours, and that was because she was stuck behind my pelvic bone, which, I mean, I was 125 pre-birth, and now I fluctuate between 112 and 115. So having a 10-pound baby, obviously, like, I mean, it makes sense. So we went in, and we were there for probably an hour, and then my doctor just came in and broke my water. And that's something else that I wish wouldn't have happened. I wish that if I would have stayed at home longer, my water probably would have broke, or I wish that they would have let me do things to break my water, but she just came in and broke it. Like, there wasn't a lot of communication, I feel like, and I don't remember a lot, which kind of stinks as well. And I did end up having to get Pitocin, which is like to induce labor, because I wasn't, like, nothing was moving forward. I wasn't dilating anymore. And there was one point where they came in and upped my Pitocin, and I had a contraction for an hour straight. So that was miserable. But I didn't break. I didn't get the epidural, and looking back, I'm really glad that I didn't, which I'll explain why later. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the oils that I used and the things that we did, because I think that made the biggest difference. So I'm just going to jump right in, and I'm going to kind of read the list, what we use them for, different things like that, so that way you have an idea. And I also want to talk about like positive affirmations, because I truly believe that was the biggest thing that got me through. I feel like labor is all a mind game. It is the worst pain that you'll probably ever feel. It's something that you've never felt, so it's not anything that you can prepare yourself for. And I think I didn't realize that. I was kind of like, oh, I've, broke this bone, I've done this. It's nothing like that. It is a pain that, A, I don't remember, and B, I've never felt before in my entire life. So, I want to talk about the positive affirmations first, just like I said, because I feel like that's what got me through. So, Before we went into the hospital, Ozzy and I sat down and we made a list of things that I wanted him to do and say, and things I didn't want to hear, things I didn't want him to do, things I didn't want him to say. And I feel like that made a really big difference, because there was no point that I was like, oh my gosh, you're getting on my nerves. He was the biggest help. I mean, he was telling me everything I wanted to hear, everything I needed to hear. And then, you know, we made this list of things that I could tell myself, things that I could visualize. And between him telling me, you know, you can do it, I love you, our baby girl's gonna be here soon, and then these list of things that I have, I really think that that's what got me through. So the things that like I would verbally tell myself was, you know, this is going to be a very smooth and wonderful birth, which it wasn't, considering it was 20 hours long, 3 hours of labor, but nothing was wrong. I mean, it was an amazing birth. Yeah, she agrees. My baby's going to be healthy and happy, and she was super healthy. I mean, they had to watch her for like her blood sugars because she was so big, but she ended up being just fine. She's happy. She's the happiest baby now. I will relax and breathe my baby into the world. Breathing is the biggest thing that you have to kind of know how to do, and I wish that I would have taken classes on it, because yeah, going into it, I think that would have been extremely helpful. My body feels strong and healthy during this pregnancy. It was 100%, and I think that's why it made it really easy for me. Not easy, because it was not easy, but you know, I feel like things could have been a lot worse. My baby comes into this world easily, calm, and incredibly healthy. Once she came into the world, she was calm. She cried for literally until they got her on my chest, and then she was fine. I feel deep happiness during the entire process. I was kind of out of it just because there was like a lot going on, and that kind of goes back to the Pitocin thing. If I think I would have been fully there, I would not have let them do the Pitocin. I would have wanted to try other things first, but it was kind of just, they just kind of came in and started doing it. There wasn't ever really a discussion. Time passes quickly. Time flew by. Like, I remember, like, it kind of felt like it was dragging on at the end, but I would look at the clock, and I remember, like, I literally feel like I fell asleep during the daytime, and I woke up and it was night. And if you ask my mom or Ozzy, that's not how anything happened, but that's what I remember. It all goes so easily and so smoothly. I'm warm, heavy, and relaxed. That was extremely true. The relaxation thing, if I have one advice for anybody, if they let you take a shower, get in the shower. It will be the best 20 minutes of your entire life. I can tell you right now, that was the best part of my labor, was being in the shower. Which, Ozzy has a super funny story about that, and I wish he was here to tell it, because he tells it so much funnier than me. But basically, like, he turned the shower head on, it sprayed him, his socks were getting soaked because he had to be in the room with me. He turned the cold water on me, and I was obviously mad. But baby arrived safe and healthy. My body will heal incredibly quick. It did. I felt back to normal probably a week after birth, if that. And right after I had her, I was up and moving. I was able to just go. I mean, I was able to do everything, and it was extremely nice. And that's one of the things that I wanted to be able to do, was right after, you know, I wanted to be able to get up and do things. And if you have an epidural, you can't do that. So then the visual things that I would close my eyes and I would just visualize seeing myself having her easily and effortlessly. I would just visualize laying there and then her just being born. And then your baby just flows out of you like light or an ocean wave, very healthy and happy. So again, I would just close my eyes and I would just imagine everything just going really smooth, her coming out just happy and healthy, and I think that really helped. See yourself and everyone who loves you filled with joy. I could look at my mom and she would smile at me. I would look at Ozzy and he would smile at me and hold my hand, and I just knew that as soon as, you know, I got Penelope into this world, that it was just gonna bring so much light and joy to everybody, and it truly did. And then you were holding your baby and telling the baby how easy the birth was, how healthy, loved, and special she is. I did not tell her how easy her labor and birthing was. I've never told her that. I tell her all the time that it took a really long time, but the first thing I said when she got laid on my chest, I just said, I love you. And I didn't cry. My mom cried and Ozzy cried, and I'm just one of those people that I don't cry when I should, and I cry when I shouldn't. Like, example, her being born, didn't cry. At funerals, don't cry. But like, I'll cry at like the most stupidest things, and I don't understand. I don't get it. But they all cried, and it was just like the happiest moment to be able to look over and just see the joy and tears in Ozzy's eyes, holding his hand, watching him hold mine back, and holding Penelope's. And I mean, it was just a pure love that you don't see. Like, you see those things that it's like, oh, being your wife, like, is so different, but like watching you be a father makes me love you more, and that's 100% true. And watching my mom become a grandma was the sweetest moment in the entire world. And I'll insert the picture that our birthing photographer got because it's the sweetest picture ever of her. Talk about the oils, because just like I said, I mean, they really made a difference. They were amazing and relaxing, and Ozzy was so good about it. He was like, do you want me to put this on? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? He was like, let's do this, let's do that. Here, let me put more on. He had these papers. I mean, he was just a rock star. He killed it. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of go through this list that I was so blessed to be given. I didn't use all of them just because it didn't all go as planned, so I wasn't able to, but I'm still going to read them to you, so that way if you're like, oh hey, I could do that, I could use this, so that way you have them. So Clary Sage would be used to get like contractions and makes them more effective. Again, I didn't really get to do that because they just came in and started giving me Pitocin, which really stinks. I wish I would have been able to try this more, but this is an oil that you have to ask your doctor and make sure that it's safe, because this is an oil that you have to completely avoid during pregnancy because it can cause labor. So you have to wait until your doctor says it's safe to be able to use it. And then Jasmine is also really good to inhale and get labor started. And then along with like an after cramps or after labor cramps roller, because the cramps after labor aren't fun. But yeah. And then Valor, so this one, she really likes this one too. This one literally makes you feel like you're just on top of the world, and it's one that I still use now when I'm feeling down and I need to pick me up. I use Valor because I mean, it's just amazing. So you can combine it with like citrus oils, so like lemon, orange, lime, grapefruit, jade, those just because those give you kind of like an energy. And then peppermint is so good if you have headaches, nausea, anything like that. Peppermint is a miracle worker. I have really bad migraines as it is, and I use peppermint on the daily, and using it during labor I was like, wow, I've never loved something so much in my entire life until I had Pete, of course. But peppermint was a game changer. And then if you want to diffuse during labor, you also have to make sure that's okay with your doctor and your hospital. But things like orange, lavender, and joy would be good to do. Frankincense, orange, and lemon, or frankincense and clary sage are really good. And after labor cramps, so this is really good. If you put these into a roller ball, they really help. So jasmine, lavender, clary sage, geranium, and then put carrier oil. This really helps with after cramps, because like I said, like they're not fun. I really didn't have that bad of after cramps, so I didn't necessarily use too much of this, but I know that it works wonders for people. If you want to know after labor ones, definitely DM me and I can shoot all of this. I can shoot all of this to you. So again, peppermint is nausea, burst of energy, headaches, things like that. And then I just have each oil listed here, so I'm just gonna go through and list which ones I use and what I use them for. So lavender is relaxing and calming. Frankincense was like head tension, tension in muscles. Aussie rubbed that on my back quite a bit. Clary Sage again was to get contractions stronger, to get them going. She's teething, so that's why she's really talking a lot right now. Jasmine kicks body into gear for labor. Valor promotes feelings of courage and confidence. And then Panaway, so this one is just kind of a funny one that got put in here, was so Panaway used on spouses, they become sore from rubbing your back too long. I remember telling Ozzy, because he was like, my hands hurt, because he would just sit and rub my back for so long, because I had back cramps and like back labor, back contractions and back labor. And so that I was like, put Panaway on them and get back here. But I was really nice to him during labor, actually. So peace and calming would also be another good one to use, just to bring, literally in the name, peace and calming. It's a really stressful time. It can get really stressful, and that was the best as well. Like I said, I think peppermint was kind of like my favorite that I used, along with lavender and frankincense, and Valor was really good just to kind of give you that pick-me-up, because I can't tell you how many times that I was just like, I'm so tired. I mean, I was so physically and mentally exhausted. And I mean, after 20 hours of labor, 3 hours of pushing, I mean, what do you expect? But it all worked out. She's here and happy. But definitely the oils really helped. And like I said, Aussie being there, yeah. Positive affirmations really helped. Like I said, I believe that is 100% a mind game, because I feel like when I was telling myself, you know, you can do this, you got this, your baby's going to be here soon, everything's going to be complete and happy and da-da-da, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. But then, you know, the minute I was like, oh my gosh, this hurts, this is terrible, maybe I should just ask for the epidural, I don't want to do this, you know, I started feeling worse than I was before I started thinking those things. And so I really think that it was a big game changer. And I am extremely glad and blessed that I didn't get the epidural, because as weird as it sounds, like I can still sit and like think about like the birthing process happening, and like as weird and gross as it sounds, like me actually giving birth to her, like I can still think about that and remember that, and like it was just one of the best feelings in the entire world. And if you get the epidural, then you can't feel that. And I mean, everybody to each their own. Everybody does what they want. I don't bash that. Trust me. I sat there and was like, I want the epidural, I want the epidural, I want the epidural, in my mind 100 times, because it's not fun. I mean, if you have a super easy, quick labor, go you. I'm so happy for you. But I did it. And so I definitely think, like I said, the oils and everything definitely worked. And someone's getting mad, so I am going to hop off here. Again, if you guys have any questions, please DM me. I'm more than happy to send all of these papers to you. If you have questions on essential oils, where to get them, please DM me. I can help you with all of that. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Say bye.